Y bueno, para no quitarles mucho tiempo, tengo el gusto de presentar a nuestro mentor, a nuestro amigo, a nuestro líder, quien ha puesto, la verdad es que las primeras piedras para traer a todo ACN al mundo, llevar la oportunidad a miles de millones de personas en todo el mundo. Alguien con quien me gusta mucho platicar, alguien con quien conozco, aprendo sus historias siempre, siempre desde hace 3 años y medio. Y bueno, pues vamos a darle pie a nuestro mentor, vicepresidente global de liderazgo, el señor Larry Raskin. Hola Larry, buenos días.
Hola, Juan Carlos. Muchas gracias. Bienvenidos a todos. Estoy emocionado hoy. What a fantastic weekend. I want to thank everyone that participated in the Leadership Certification Conference. It was a fantastic 2 days, kicking off with our president and co-founder, Greg Provenzano. Now, the story of ACN is one of the greatest stories ever told, in my opinion. And there's no one that can tell it better than Greg. And it brings a lot of smiles on our faces that have been with the company for so long, because we know that story so well, and we were there when all that happened. And I just want to thank a variety of people, our senior vice presidents. Efren Tejada, you did a phenomenal job. Liliana, you were amazing. Memo, incredible. Jaime, just awesome, buddy. I mean, just the importance of just the simple basics of our business and the leadership thoughts from the top leaders on how they've built what they have over the years they've been with us is invaluable to the audience of team coordinators that were taking notes, and just a great job by everybody. I don't want to forget our newly promoted Senior Vice President, Alfonso Lobato. You did a great job as well, along with our country manager, I shouldn't say country manager, our general manager, Pedro Leon, and Alfonso Lobato, our new Senior Vice President. The marketing team did a great job. Eduardo, Otero, and Juan, you did a great job as well. So here we are. We're in the second week of coming into the third week of May, and things are moving forward slowly but surely. You know, the question I would have as a leader is, I've got a lot of information as a team coordinator. What is the most important things that I can take away from each training that I heard? What I'm really saying is, you took notes, you listened intently, and you can't implement and execute all of it. But maybe there's one thing out of developing leaders, one thing out of creating momentum, one thing from each and every trainer that trained, one thing that you can implement. And this is so important, because over the course of 3 to 4 months that I've been training you on Monday, our leaders this weekend kind of shared with you their perspectives on the topics they trained on. And when I shared with you similar things that were shared by senior vice presidents, you may have heard it for the first or second time, but when hearing it from another leader touching the same point, you hear it differently. When something is brand new, you hear it a certain way because it's the first time you heard it, or you're at a lower developmental level. But as you mature in the business, and as you experience what we've trained you to do, and you hear the same thing again from a different person with a different perspective, you hear it differently. So really the question is, how can you take this information in the current flash opportunity that we have? Where in Mexico, meetings are starting up slowly but surely. In Colombia, there's a lot of concerns for the political unrest. So what's happening in Colombia, the engagement may be different than it is in Mexico. And the same thing would be true of Peru. Each country has its own circumstances that we have to work around. But for each one of us, the goal is the same, is to help people see the vision of what Flash can provide them and their family so they can have a secure future. If I had to judge Flash Mobile by the limitations that the pandemic has put upon this opportunity, it wouldn't be a great opportunity on its own. But pandemics are not normal. As a matter of fact, they're once in 100 years. So therefore, I cannot look at the current circumstances as things that will stay this way. That's why it's a time to retool, to get better and improve. So, as my conversations have been, is how can we get better? This weekend was about getting better and hearing from the best that are actually doing the business every day, what they do to build their organizations right now. And so your takeaways this weekend, what were some of your takeaways? One of the takeaways that I believe that you should have gotten is there's no substitute for a great beginning in our business. And your story is incredibly important. There's many people that don't know you that are counting on your success so they can have their success. How about that? That's an incredible thought. If you only knew the amount of people that didn't know you, that are depending upon you being successful so the opportunity can reach them, you'd probably work 10 times harder. And I and many other people that did not discount the opportunity in the good times and the bad times, knowing that I was always one person removed or more of reaching the greatest person that could ever enter into my business. That was motivation enough for me to continue to do it every day with high levels of activity. So do we have enough reason for people to get started? All the bonuses that we have in Mexico and Peru and Colombia, the quick start bonuses, the customer bonuses, the 7+1 is working very well. Our plans are competitive and they're becoming more competitive. And as you know, from what Greg shared with you, we have great plans for the remainder of 2021. We just need our partners to finish up on several things so we can have more services coming to the countries in 2021. You know, it was a couple weeks ago that I discussed with all of you about presentation skills. I also mentioned it over the weekend in the Leadership Certification Conference. And assuming that you have really worked on your presentation and you are effective at the enrollment with payment of a brand leader in our system, the next step to the presentation skill is actually launching them into the business. There's no question that the most exciting time for a brand leader is when they begin. And there's a danger to the brand leader that sponsored them to celebrate the enrollment before anything is done. That's a mistake. Certainly, it's an accomplishment to bring in a brand leader with payment, but they haven't done anything yet. Don't celebrate yet. Let's get them started off to a great first week, a great first 2 weeks, a great first 30 days, then we can celebrate. in being specific on really understanding the presentation, let's be specific on how to effectively launch somebody correctly. First of all, I'm going to make somebody feel great. Look, I'm so excited about working with you. I believe we're going to do something great, but it begins right now. Now, I told you to pull from the back office or to glance at it, or even to print it out if you have, the launching your business document. And I want to follow that. So the way that I launch you into this business is the same exact way we're going to launch the eventual team that will be under you. Our goal is to get the first position and the first check in your possession, right? The first promotion, the first position, and let's see if we can't do it in the first week, let alone the first month. Now, there's several bonuses that we have. I'll show them the customer bonuses. I'll show them the executive team trainer bonuses and above. As I was communicating to you earlier in the week, you made a list. Hopefully you made an extensive list. And what I want to do is go after the people that are the most optimistic, opportunistic, and money motivated people you know, people that you feel would love to be in business with you, people that are close to you personally, or people that you have mutual respect with that would receive a phone call, no problem, and listen to what you had to say. I would get back from the new brand leader, how many people they wrote down. And then I would say, okay, let's take a moment here and let's talk about the 10 best people that you would want to have in your business and the 10 people that would be a customer just because you asked them. Once again, the top 10 people that will be in the business, right? Because it's with you and they would love to do that. And the 10 best people that will take the service just because you asked them and would do you a favor. Now, what I like to do, and I'm sure that you've been trained on based upon who your uplines are, is that I like to do the first couple calls with the new brand leader. Remember, less is more. You also have great 1 minute or 2 minute videos that explain the concept of what we do, where you don't have to talk much. We'll do a little role playing, and I'll talk about the initial contact. Hello, Juan, this is Larry. How are you? How is your family? How are your kids? How are you holding up in this pandemic? Everybody okay? You get an answer, talk about it, and then tell them that, look, I'm calling you for a reason. I found a way through this incredible crisis that we're in on how my family has tremendous hope over the next 12 to 24 months being financially free. There is a company that is revolutionizing the essential service industry that's moved in to our country, moved into Peru, moved into Colombia, moved into Mexico, that you need to hear about. Are you familiar with the essential service industry? No, not really, they may say. Like, what do you mean? Like mobile? Yes, mobile would be an essential service. Think of it this way. Think of every single time people pay their bills, we have the chance of making money. If that was true, would you want to hear about it? I just sent you on your phone through WhatsApp. I just sent you a short 2-minute video. I want you to watch it and then call me right back. Got that? Check your phone. Do you have it? You do? Call me right back after you watch that video. Now, they hang up the phone. They watch the video. They call you back. And they say, let's say they say, that was really interesting. So are you doing this? Yes. A person I respect gave me a call. This is something I see for my family. And as a matter of fact, what got me more interested on who I was working with. Now listen to me on this part. All people that can effectively communicate the message, maybe ETLs knocking on the door of TC or all TCs. The only thing that you need to do is talk about the important components of what was on the video, and then you promote the next Zoom webinar. In times like this, and I'm thinking of myself for just a moment. If somebody brings me a great idea through the Zoom or through a phone call, and it may be somebody I know, I like, and I trust in business, or maybe I don't know them, but the person that we mutually know, I have respect for. Therefore, I have respect for the person that's speaking to me because it was recommended by the person that I respect to call me. That is the permission slip for me to listen. Now, let's say I love the message and let's say I really like it a lot. I don't care where you are or what country you're in. Most people want more information and will not buy in to whatever it is you're talking about the very first time they hear it. So that's the thinking of most people. It sounds great. Wow, a 28-year-old company, right? I'd love to have more information. So you give them more information and you tell them how they can get it. How do they get it? Promote the next event. You are talking to them, repeating what's on the video. And let me give you the dialogue. If you're the upline expert, I'll give you the dialogue. So the person calls you back. They just watched the video and say, hey, that's a great video. Okay. And they ask you about, are you in this? You tell them, yes, I am. But more importantly, it's the people I'm working with. Right now, this very moment, I have this gentleman. His name is Eduardo Otero. He's standing by. I told him I was talking to you, and he'd love to say hi to you and explain to you a little bit more about how you could get in more information. I would hold on 1 second. It's only going to take a minute or two because I got a lot of other people to talk to. Hold on a second. I will bridge him into the call. Hold on a second. I'll bring him on the Zoom. And then Eduardo gets on the line and says, hey, Juan, it's great to meet you over the phone, over the Zoom. Yes, Juan and I are very excited about the expansion of this company. This is a company that has been the #1 company in the world for 28 years in the selling of essential services, and they're rapidly expanding Latin America. Over the next 5 to 7 years, we're going to find a way to get paid on every bill that people pay for every single month here in Latin America. You really, from what Juan told me, Eduardo, you really need to be part of it. But here's what I want you to do, because I know you need more information. We're having a call and you sell the next webinar. You want to do it as soon as possible. You want to make sure that the gap between when they're peaked and when they're hearing a full-blown training and quick start is the tighter the time frame, the more likely they are to be interested and eventually become a partner, a teammate. As an example, you have this kind of a call, everything goes right, but you promote the next event to be next week. Not good. No bueno. Because a lot can happen in a week. Sense of urgency, fear of loss. You don't want to miss this thing. We need to be doing this together. Tonight, we have a call that you can't miss. Try to rearrange it so you can be on this call. Look, tonight's not good, then you need to get on tomorrow's call. Tomorrow, we have an incredible trainer, one of the top people of Latin America, making a whole lot of money. You got to hear what they have to say. Look, the bottom line is the urgency that you put on it is transferred to the person hearing it. Very simple. If you're not excited about them hearing it, they're not excited about hearing it. You got to make statements like, this can change your life. This can change your life, Juan. I see us doing this together, but I'm doing it with you or without you. When I think of all the things that we've done together, how long we've known each other, I think that we're going to really do something special here. I was having a conversation with a gentleman outside of our business, coaching him on his business this morning. And as he was explaining his business, and I said, the compelling nature of what I do is still alive 28 years after I saw it. He was telling me about the features and the benefits and the purpose and the mission of his company and the vision of his company. And I heard what he had to say. And then I was giving a different perspective from my point of view in the way that I look at my business. I said to him, in our business, the psychology of what we do, here's what we do. We market the essential services people use every day. They don't think about it. They automatically do it. It's like oxygen. It's like breathing air. The reaction that we get today when people hear it for the very first time, that they can get paid that way, is the same exact reaction I got when I heard it and everybody else I talked to heard it 28 years ago. Nothing's changed. But for us that have been in the business, maybe what you would perceive as long, for me, it's 28 years, right? You forget that this is the sexiest idea that's ever been created on how to make money. And we get lost in that. So let me ask you a question. Once again, all the team, everybody that's listening to me right now, let me ask you this question. Are you excited? Would you be excited if you got paid when people took a breath and another breath? You just made more money. And another breath. You just made more money. So what is the difference between someone taking a breath and people using their phone? They don't think about taking a breath. They don't think about using their phone, but they do it all day long. The internet, they use it all day long. They unconsciously are using everything that we market. And we forget how unbelievable our concept is in what we do. We forget about it. We must never forget what this could mean. Never forget what this could mean to the person that this was designed for. I knew my sponsor when I got started. I didn't know my sponsor's sponsor and my sponsor's sponsor or my sponsor's sponsor's sponsor. But 8 levels up from me was a guy named Oren Solomon, Senior Vice President. 9 levels up from me was a guy by the name of Mike Kane. 12 levels up from me was a lady by the name of Debbie Davis, Senior Vice President. I want to make sure you understand the main thing I'm trying to point out here. My sponsor, direct sponsor, made a lot of money on me in the first 5 years. The opportunity was designed for him. Remember that word? It was designed for him. The people in between my sponsor and Oren Solomon, about 7 levels, they were necessary, but the opportunity was not designed for them. They were necessary, or else I don't happen. But it wasn't designed for them. They were only here for a short time and they had to move on. People come into your life for a short time. that lead you to the most important people you will ever know. What a great business this is. That's why every single person that we launch properly into this business and can get them a check and can get them a bonus, we keep them in the business until we can find the very people that were designed for this opportunity. I was designed for this. Oren Solomon was designed for this. Debbie Davis, Mike Kane were designed. Liliana Gomeres, Memo Tajanor, Jaime Gonzalez, Alfonso Lobato, Efren Tejada. Every one of them was necessary, but they were also designed to be in this long term. We all matter. We all count. That's why when we launch people in our business and we do it properly, they know the very people that are designed for this forever, that will be in our organizations for the life of them being here. You got to have a deeper meaning, a greater purpose for getting people in the business. It's not about you making money. It's got to be about other people leading you to the right people. Hopefully this helps you. Once again, all these perspectives from great leaders, hopefully has been a change that you will value as you start to execute some of these ideas. Launching some people in the business, launching all your brand leaders is probably the most important thing that we can do for our brand leaders. As a matter of fact, if people aren't launched properly, it lies on the shoulders, the responsibility of that lies on the shoulders of the sponsor or the upline expert that is helping that new person get started. So let's launch, man. Let's present well. Let's launch properly. This is a simple business. Never forget that getting paid, when people pay their bills, every time they do that, we make money, is mundane. Mundano. But you can't tell that to the largest providers in the world. I was told by one of my mentors many years ago, the most successful people in business of all time have done one thing and one thing very well. Once their company became successful, utilizing the system for success, the next goal was this. And that is to master the mundane. If you master the mundane and make it enjoyable, there is nothing that can stop you in pursuing and attaining the level of success you desire. So important. So not only do I want you to know our system and know the importance of each element, and you better believe it's mundane once you know it. But once you master the mundane, whoa. There's joy, there's excitement, there is unlimited success. So I wish that for you. Until next time, everyone. You have a lot of information from this weekend. I'm looking forward to talking to many of you this week, and I'm hopefully looking forward to seeing you sometime in 2021. Let's finish off the second half of May at an all-time record pace. We can do it. We're bigger than this pandemic. We're not letting anything stop us. God bless you, everyone. God bless all your family. Talk to you
Muchas gracias. Gracias, Larry. Gracias a todos por estar conectados. Nos vemos, ya saben,